In the quiet village of Pine Ridge, where dusty roads and weathered barns spoke of generations past, lived Jack the Cobbler and his loving wife, Lily. Their small home, tucked behind a row of modest cottages, was filled with the scent of leather and the gentle hum of hope. Despite Jack's tireless work repairing worn-out shoes, the meager earnings barely kept hunger and hardship at bay. One chilly morning, as Jack sat in his tiny workshop hammering away at a battered boot, he sighed deeply. "Lily, I fear this life may never change. The work is hard, and the money is never enough." Lily, with a soft smile and eyes filled with gentle resolve, replied, "We may be poor, dear, but we have ingenuity and heart. Perhaps a new path awaits if you dare to take it." Convinced by Lily's quiet faith, Jack made a bold decision. One brisk autumn day, he packed his few belongings and set off on foot toward the bustling city of Riverbend. The journey was long and filled with challenges, but Jack's determination never wavered. Along winding country roads and through sunlit meadows, he encountered friendly faces and unexpected acts of kindness that spurred him onward. In Riverbend, the city's energy was palpable. Tall brick buildings and busy sidewalks replaced the familiar fields of Pine Ridge. Jack found work at a renowned shoemaker's shop, where his skillful hands quickly earned him respect. Day after day he labored, repairing shoes and crafting new pairs with care and precision. His honest work, combined with his warm smile, drew loyal customers and steadily increased his earnings. "Customer, your work is as fine as any in this city, Jack. I'm sure you have a bright future ahead, Jack." With a modest grin, "Thank you kindly. I only hope to return home one day with enough to ease our burdens." After many months of dedicated labor, Jack finally saved enough money. With his hard-earned cash in hand, he visited a local dealer who specialized in old vehicles. There, Jack purchased a weathered but reliable pickup truck, a true American workhorse that would serve him on his journey home. The truck's faded paint and rumbling engine reminded him of the long road he had traveled, and he felt a surge of hope as he imagined returning to Pine Ridge, not as a defeated cobbler, but as a triumphant provider. Dealer, with a wink, "This old truck's seen its share of miles, but it'll get you where you need to go and maybe even help you earn a little extra along the way." Jack, clasping the keys with gratitude, "Thank you. Every mile in this truck is a step toward a better future for my family." With the pickup truck loaded and his heart light with hope, Jack began the journey back to Pine Ridge. The road meandered through dense forests and over rolling hills, where the dappled sunlight danced on the leaves. However, not all was peaceful along the route. Deep in a shadowed stretch of forest, Jack's path crossed with a notorious group of local thieves known for preying on travelers. The leader of the group, a sly fellow named Billy, stepped forward, with a crooked smile, flanked by his cohorts Mark and Joey. "Well, what do we have here? A lone traveler with a shiny truck and a bulging wallet, no doubt," Billy sneered. The thieves surrounded the truck, intent on relieving Jack of his hard-earned money. Billy, grinning maliciously, "Hand over your cash, old man, or we'll take it by force." Jack, calmly assessing the situation, "Now, gentlemen, wouldn't you prefer a deal that benefits everyone?" Jack's mind raced as he considered his options. Drawing on years of practical wisdom, he devised a clever plan. "Gentlemen," he said in a steady tone, "I see you're after my money, but perhaps there's an even better bargain here. I'm willing to sell you this trusty truck, no haggling necessary, for a very generous sum." The thieves, puzzled by his boldness, exchanged skeptical glances. Billy stepped forward, curiosity mingling with greed. "Sell me your truck, old man? What's the catch?" Jack smiled, his eyes twinkling. "This truck has a secret. If you invest in it, you won't just have a means of transport, you'll have a ticket to better fortunes. I'm offering it at a steal because I want to rid myself of it and avoid any trouble on this dark road." The thieves, their eyes widening at the promise of an easy profit, haggled briefly. In the end, they agreed to pay a handsome sum, more than Jack had expected. With a handshake and a nod, the deal was sealed, and the thieves loaded the truck onto a makeshift cart, disappearing into the forest with their newfound treasure. Mark, in disbelief, I can't believe we're getting such a deal. This truck is practically a steal, Jack, chuckling softly. Sometimes, gentlemen, it pays to know the value of what you hold and to share it wisely. Jack continued his journey home with his pockets heavier and his heart lightened by his clever trade. Yet, word of his transaction spread quickly, and the thieves, now roused by wounded pride, plotted revenge. Determined not to be outwitted, Billy, Mark, and Joey regrouped and followed Jack's trail, waiting for another opportunity to seize what they thought was rightfully theirs. Several days later, as Jack drove along a quiet country road, the thieves launched a surprise ambush near a rustic rest stop. "Jack, we're not done with you yet," Billy shouted, emerging from behind a stand of trees. "You think you can trick us and make a fortune off our backs?" Jack's eyes narrowed, and he immediately began to calculate his next move. "Now, gentlemen," he said with a measured calm, "if you truly wish to trade, I'm sure we can come to another mutually beneficial arrangement." Joey, scowling, "What trickery is this? We'll get our money back one way or another." Jack, smiling wryly, "Perhaps, but let's discuss a trade that might suit all our needs. I have something else of value that you might not have considered." Recalling the ingenuity that had served him before, Jack proposed another clever bargain. "I'm willing to let you have back the money you feel you deserve, if you'll accept something even more valuable in return." He reached into his worn satchel and produced a set of finely crafted shoes, a creation of his own skilled hands. "These are not ordinary shoes," Jack explained, "but a pair imbued with the spirit of hard work and honesty. They represent all I have learned through my trials. In exchange, I offer you a deal. Relinquish your quest for ill-gotten gains and accept these shoes as a token of a new beginning." Billy and his cohorts exchanged confused looks. The thought of accepting a humble pair of shoes in lieu of cash was unappealing to their greedy hearts. "Shoes? That's all you've got to offer?" scoffed Mark. Jack nodded, his voice firm yet compassionate. "Yes, and if you value the lessons they represent of humility, perseverance, and the value of honest work, you might reconsider your ways. Greed will only lead you to ruin. I offer you this choice. Change your course or remain locked in endless strife." The thieves, now visibly conflicted by the unexpected wisdom in Jack's words, could not help but lower their aggressive stance. Though their pride was bruised, they recognized that Jack's words held truth. With a reluctant nod, Billy muttered, "Maybe we've been looking in all the wrong places." Billy, softening, "Perhaps there's wisdom in what you say, Jack. We've been chasing a fool's gold, and it's left us with nothing but regret." Jack, gently, "Every man can change his ways. Accept these shoes as a symbol of a better path, and let us part without further harm." With the thieves' anger finally diffused and their greed momentarily replaced by reflection, Jack continued homeward. His return to Pine Ridge was met with warm embraces from his neighbors, who marveled at his adventures and clever escapes. Lily greeted him at the doorstep, her eyes shining with pride. "Jack, you have not only survived your journey, you have triumphed through your wit and hard work," she said softly. In the weeks that followed, the tale of Jack's clever bargains spread throughout the village. Neighbors would gather in the town square to recount the fable of the cobbler who outsmarted thieves with nothing but his intelligence and honest craft. Even Billy, Mark, and Joey, now humbled by their encounters, began to reconsider their ways, slowly learning that true prosperity came from honest effort rather than underhanded schemes. Neighbor Joe, laughing with admiration, "Jack, you've turned misfortune into a lesson for us all. Your clever thinking has changed our little town for the better." Jack, smiling warmly, "I merely did what I had to do to protect my livelihood. May we all remember that greed only leads to ruin, while honesty and creativity forge a path to true success." In the gentle cadence of Pine Ridge's daily life, the story of Jack the Cobbler became a cherished fable passed down through generations. It taught that intelligence, hard work, and the courage to stand up against exploitation are more valuable than any ill-gotten gains. The tale reminded everyone that while greed and dishonesty may offer fleeting rewards, It is the wisdom to use one's wit and the perseverance to work honestly that brings lasting prosperity. And so, in this small, rural, American town where humble beginnings met brilliant ideas, Jack's legacy lived on as a beacon of hope. His clever tricks, both humorous and insightful, became a timeless lesson. Hard work and honesty, coupled with a dash of clever thinking, can overcome even the darkest of adversities. Greed only brings sorrow, but intelligence and integrity pave the way to a brighter future.